What's happening? It is Friday the 7th, which is also known as Good Friday. Some people may be taking off. If you are, be safe. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the time you have with family or wherever you're doing or wherever you're going. Just be very cautious for everything that's around you. We're in a really, really crazy-ass world, and you want to be safe, whatever it is that you're doing. So the market's closing. Actually, it may even be closed right now as I'm speaking. Bonds, the stock market was not even open today. The bonds were open for a little bit. Now, I've been, subscribing to a lot of the experts in this space of talking about mortgage-backed securities. They've been saying all week long, float coming into the jobs report. I wasn't feeling that, right? We talked about this on Tuesday. I'd drawn some things in the charts where I just wasn't feeling that this jobs report was going to help us because I'm wearing the F shirt today. Why? Because those F'ers up there, they're giving us the data, keep manipulating, keep screwing with it. It's constantly moving around. I'm not going to get into the depth of how manipulated it is, but it's manipulated, right? So we've got people in place right now that have been placed in that place. I'm using place a lot by an administration that's trying to make them look good, like they're getting stuff done, right? That this chocolate chip ice cream eating some bitch up there is doing something instead of jerking off. He ain't. So when you start looking at things in great detail, we've got a big problem here, right? They're trying to keep inflation down by crushing the economy, but they're trying to say the jobs are going up so the people that are in office look like they're doing their job. Not really working that way. So let's break down what's happening in the jobs report. Jobs report saying things are looking really, really good. All these jobs have been retained, but we've got 161 million people that had their hours cut. My staff included. We've had to do some things here to keep people employed. So that's what's happening. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a necessary thing, but it's not being looked at properly. When you do the math on that, and that math was given to me, this is not my math. This is another group I subscribe to. They said that equates to 468,000 losses of jobs. If you take those hours and apply it to the workforce, 468,000 job losses just because of those hours not being worked. That's a big damn deal, right? That should have a heavy effect on our bonds, but it didn't because it's not being looked at. The other thing, the jobs that were created that we're hearing about, 147,000 were government jobs. I'm sorry, this is just my opinion. Government jobs, in my opinion, get pissed off at me if you're a government worker. I apologize if that does. Well, actually, I don't apologize. It's just my opinion. It's not a matter of apology or not apology. But you're using tax revenue to create a job that in reality does not create more, in my mind, doesn't create a lot more tax revenue. They may take taxes out of it, but it's paid with tax revenue. So it's really kind of a negative of a negative. That's the way I see it. So that being a situation, we're not really creating anything for the economy. It's taking from those resources that are going to create that role. Now we have a crap ton of jobs in the public sector, an enormous amount of them. I have no idea what the statistic is, but it's a significant amount, right? When you start talking about taxes, there's a question I always wondered: how long does it take for a dollar to dissipate just for taxes, from it leaving my hands to the next hands to the next hand? Was it just change 5 times? Is that what it is? 5 times change hands, it dissipates to taxes and is no energy eroded to nothing? I don't know. I'm curious of what that is, but let's look at the effect. So Tuesday, I showed you the charts. I showed you where a line that I had drawn that I thought this is going to be a formidable line here. It doesn't exist on any chart I'd ever seen. I just seen this going back and looking over the history of the trades. This looks like it's going to be a formidable line. We're not going to get above this. It's going to take a lot of really, really heavy data from the jobs report to influence it the way that everybody claimed it should go. But we all know about those efforts that are putting out the data, they manipulate. I didn't feel confident we're going to manipulate the hell out of it this time. So let's look at what ended up happening, especially based upon this line that I had drawn. So I drew this line at the price level 101.35. You see it right here. It's a little short one. That's just my line. These are the lines right here. These resistance lines, Fibonacci levels. We've got the moving averages, all these things that come from other sources that I plugged in here. Mine looks like it keeps holding. Nothing has broke above. They've gotten above it, but it's getting yanked right back down to it every single time. You can go back several videos and see this line that I put in here. So we didn't have enough data to help us get there. I drew this thing in. We hit this on, was it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now today. It's just strong as hell. And now we're back down below the 200-day moving average, this blue average here of the trades for the last 200 days. So if you look at that, that's also a very, very formidable line. So we had this one and the 200-day moving average. They're sucking that price down. Traders are getting out of it. We're also going into a market close day, right? Traders are not going to get really excited about trading into something where they're going to have practically a 3-day weekend because it closed early Eastern time, which is practically closed the full day on the West Coast. So I wasn't confident coming into it. My confidence was justified, or my thoughts were justified with what we have right here, with what we're seeing. So when I was saying lock it, you better lock it. Well, your choice. You lock it if you want to lock it. I'm not going to make you do anything. But what I am going to tell you, a little bit of ball busting here, you're getting yanked around by a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people claiming expertise in this that don't freaking have it. You got to be cautious who you're talking to. You got to be wary of anybody who's claimed they're an expert, especially in the real estate investment finance side of it. There's maybe only 4 of us out there, 4. And those 4, I know those guys, and they've been in this industry for 20 plus years. I trust them. There's some guys out there right now walking around 1, 2, 3 years. They don't know what the hell they're getting into, and they're going to drag you with them. Stay away from those people. I showed you before, go to the NMLS website. Just type in NMLS, right? So look that up. Look at the consumer access. Put that person's name in. See how long they've been doing it. If they claim they've been at it for longer than that, they're a liar. Walk away from that sumbitch. So don't let people jank you around. Don't let anybody tell you it's going to be all lemonade and brownies in the next 6, 8 months, year, 2 years. We're going to have better rates. I don't believe it. I've quoted Charlie Munger, quoted Warren Buffett, 2 smartest some bitches on the planet. And if they're siding with me on this, you may not want to go with those guys who side against us. That's all I'm saying. We're going to give you the play-by-play, not some guesses or conjecture for the future. We're going to give you the play-by-play of what we see while we see it to guide you the best we can. That's all we can do. Me and Scotty got your back, guys. You need anything, reach out to us. I'll talk to you on Tuesday.